Making money while you sleep has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? After all, one of the goals of financial independence is to build wealth that doesn't eat up your time, so you can enjoy life and do the things you choose to do. The truth is that building a passive income stream usually isn't passive at first. It requires time, money, skills, or all three. But where do you start? By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of what passive income opportunities you can start today. Passive income can help you earn more during good times and tide you over if you become suddenly unemployed, voluntarily take time off from work, or if inflation continues to erode your purchasing power. With passive income, you can have money coming in while still working your primary job, or if you're able to build up a solid stream of passive income, you may want to relax a little. In either case, a passive income provides additional security. If you're concerned about being able to save enough of your earnings to meet your retirement goals, building wealth through passive income may appeal to you as well. What is passive income? Regular earnings from a source other than an employer or contractor are considered passive income. According to the IRS, passive income can come from one of two sources: rental property or a business in which one does not actively participate, such as receiving book royalties or stock dividends. Many people think that passive income is about getting something for nothing, says financial coach and retired hedge fund manager Todd Tresidder. It has a get-rich-quick appeal, but in the end, it still involves work. You just give the work up front. In practice, you may do some or all of the work initially, but passive income frequently requires some additional labor along the way. To keep the passive dollars flowing, you may need to keep your product updated or your rental property well maintained. However, if you stick with it, it can be a great way to generate income and create some extra financial security for yourself. Getting a second job will not qualify as a passive income stream because you will still be required to show up and do the work in order to be paid. Passive income is about generating a consistent stream of income without putting in a lot of effort. Investing can be an excellent way to generate passive income, but only if your assets pay dividends or interest. Non-dividend paying stocks and assets, such as cryptocurrencies, may be exciting, but they will not provide you with passive income. If you're considering creating a passive income stream, take a look at these 20 strategies and learn what it takes to be successful with them, as well as the risks associated with each idea. Create a course. One popular strategy for passive income is to create an audio or video course, then sit back and watch the money roll in. Sites such as Udemy, Skillshare, and Coursera can be used to distribute and sell courses. You could also consider a freemium model, which involves building a following with free content and then charging for more detailed information or for those who want to know more. This model could be used by language teachers or stock pickers, for example. The free content serves as a demonstration of your expertise and may attract those looking to advance. Opportunity. A course can provide an excellent income stream because you can easily make money after the initial time investment. Creating the product takes a massive amount of effort, and it has to be great in order to make good money from it. If you want to be successful, you must build a strong platform, market your products, and plan for more products. Unless you get really lucky, one product is not a business. Creating more excellent products is the best way to sell an existing product. Once you master the business model, you can generate a good income stream. Write an ebook. Writing an ebook can be a good way to take advantage of the low cost of publishing and even leverage Amazon's global distribution to get your book seen by potentially millions of potential buyers. Ebooks can be relatively short, perhaps 30 to 50 pages, and relatively inexpensive to produce because they rely on your own expertise. You'll need to be an expert on a specific topic, but it could be a niche topic that requires some special skills or abilities that few people have, but that many readers require. On an online platform, you can quickly design the book and then test market different titles and price points. But, as with designing a course, much of the value comes from adding more ebooks to the mix, attracting more customers to your content. Opportunity: an ebook can be used to drive traffic to your other offerings, such as audio or video courses, other ebooks, a website, or potentially higher value seminars, in addition to delivering good information and value to readers. Risk: your ebook must be very strong in order to gain a following, and it also helps if you have some way to market it, such as an existing website, promotion on other relevant websites, media appearances, or podcasts, or something else. So you could put in a lot of effort up front and get very little in return, especially at first. And, while an ebook is nice, it will help if you write more and then build a business around it, or make the book just one component of your business that strengthens the others. So your biggest risk is probably wasting your time for little reward. Rental income. Investing in rental properties is a good way to generate passive income. However, it frequently necessitates more effort than people anticipate. According to John H. Graves, an accredited investment fiduciary, you can afford a comfortable retirement. If you don't take the time to learn how to make it a profitable venture, you could lose your investment and then some. Opportunity: according to Graves, in order to earn passive income from rental properties, 3 things must be determined. What kind of return do you want on your investment? Total costs and expenses for the property. The financial risks of property ownership. For example, if your goal is to earn $10,000 a year in rental cash flow and the property has a monthly mortgage of $2,000 and costs another $300 a month for taxes and other expenses, you'd have to charge $3,133 in monthly rent to reach your goal. There are a few things to think about. Is there an interest in your property? What if you have a tenant who does not pay on time or damages the property? What if you can't rent out your property? Any of these factors could significantly reduce your passive income. Economic downturns can also be difficult. You may find yourself with tenants who are unable to pay their rent while also having to pay your own mortgage. Or, as incomes fall, you may be unable to rent out your home for as much as you could previously. And, because of the relatively low mortgage rates, home prices have been rapidly rising, so your rents may be insufficient to cover your expenses. You should weigh these risks and have backup plans in place to protect yourself. Affiliate marketing. Website owners, social media influencers, or bloggers use affiliate marketing to promote a third party's product by including a link to the product on their website or social media account. Amazon is the most well-known affiliate partner, but eBay, Awin, and ShareASale are also big names. And Instagram and TikTok have grown into massive platforms for those looking to build a following and promote their products. You could also consider building an email list to attract attention to your blog or to direct people to products and services that they might be interested in. Opportunity. The site owner earns a commission when a visitor clicks on the link and purchases from the third-party affiliate. The commission may range from 3 to 7%, implying that significant traffic to your site will be required to generate significant income. However, if you can increase your following or specialize in a more profitable niche, such as software, financial services, or fitness, you may be able to make some serious money. Affiliate marketing is considered passive because you can earn money by simply adding a link to your website or social media account. In reality, you won't make any money if you can't get readers to click on the link and buy something. Risk. If you're just getting started, it will take time to create content and build traffic. It can take a long time to build the following, and you'll need to find the right formula for attracting that audience, which may take some time. Worse, once you've expended all of your effort, your audience is likely to move on to the next popular influencer, trend, or social media platform. Flip retail products. Use online sales platforms like eBay or Amazon to sell products that you find at low prices elsewhere. You'll arbitrage the difference between your purchase and sale prices, and you may be able to build a following of people who follow your deals. Opportunity. You will be able to profit from price differences between what you can find and what the average consumer can find. This could be especially effective if you have a contact who can help you gain access to discounted merchandise that few others can. Alternatively, you may be able to find valuable items that others have simply overlooked. Risk. While online sales can occur at any time, making this strategy passive, you will undoubtedly have to work hard to find a reliable source of products. You'll also need to invest money in all of your products until they sell, so you'll need a steady source of funds. You'll need to be well versed in the market in order to avoid paying too much. Otherwise, you risk having products that no one wants or that require drastic price reductions to sell. Sell photography online. Selling photography online may not seem like the most obvious place to start a passive business, but it can help you scale your efforts, especially if you can sell the same photos repeatedly. You could collaborate with a company like Getty Images, Shutterstock, or Alamy to accomplish this. To begin, you must first be approved by the platform, after which you must license your photos for use by anyone who downloads them. The platform will then pay you every time your photo is used. You'll need photos that appeal to a specific demographic or depict a specific scene, and you'll need to figure out where the demand is. Photos could be of models, landscapes, creative scenarios, and so on, or they could be of real events that made the news. Opportunity. One of the benefits of selling or licensing your photos through a platform is the ability to scale your efforts, especially if you can provide images that are in high demand. That means you could potentially sell the same image hundreds, thousands, or even millions of times. Risk. You could upload hundreds of photos to a platform like Getty Images and not see any meaningful sales. Only a few photos may generate all of your revenue, so keep adding photos as you look for the needle in the haystack. It may take a significant amount of effort to go out and shoot photos, then process them and keep up with the events that will eventually drive your revenue. And motivation may be difficult to maintain. Every subsequent photo could be your lottery ticket, though it almost certainly will not be. By crowd-funded real estate. If you want to invest in real estate but don't want to do all of the heavy lifting, management, repairs, dealing with tenants, and so on, another option is to use a crowdfunding platform. An experienced investing team selects the real estate, and you decide whether or not to invest in it and how much you are comfortable with. You'll pay an annual management fee to the real estate platform, with minimum investment amounts ranging from tens of thousands of dollars. Opportunity. You can gain access to private real estate deals that have been pre-selected by knowledgeable investors. You can look at the returns on the platforms to get a sense of what kind of returns you can expect and over what time frame. Real estate investments can also help to diversify your portfolio, thereby smoothing your returns. Some platforms make equity, stock, investments, while others make debt investments. In general, stocks provide higher returns in exchange for greater risk, whereas debt provides lower returns in exchange for less risk. Some platforms demand that you be an accredited investor with a certain level of income or assets. Fundrise, YieldStreet, and DiversiFund are some popular platforms. Risk. Many crowdfunding platforms require you to make your own investments. So, while past performance may appear to be promising, it is no guarantee of future success. And you'll have to make a decision about what to buy. That means reading the prospectus for each deal you're interested in and understanding the pros and cons. Furthermore, real estate is typically funded with high levels of debt, making it more vulnerable to any economic downturn. You'll also want to understand how long your money will be locked up in the investment and when you can access it, especially in an emergency. Peer-to-peer lending. A peer-to-peer, P2P, loan is a personal loan made between you and another person that is facilitated by a third-party intermediary such as Prosper or Lending Club. Funding Circle, which targets businesses and has higher borrowing limits, and Payoff, which targets better credit risks, are two other players. Opportunity: as a lender, you earn money from interest payments on loans. However, because the loan is unsecured, you may end up with nothing if you default. To reduce that risk, you must do two things. Diversify your lending portfolio by distributing smaller sums across multiple loans. The minimum loan investment at Prosper.com and Lending Club is $25. Analyze historical data on prospective borrowers to make educated decisions. Risk: mastering the metrics of P2P lending takes time, so it's not entirely passive, and you'll want to carefully vet your prospective borrowers. You must pay close attention to payments received because you are investing in multiple loans. If you want to build income, you should reinvest your interest earnings. Economic recessions can also make high-yielding personal loans a more likely candidate for default, so when the economy worsens, these loans may default at higher than historical rates. Dividend stocks. Shareholders of dividend-paying companies receive payments from the company on a regular basis. Companies pay cash dividends out of their profits on a quarterly basis, and all you have to do is own the stock. Dividends are paid out per share of stock, so the more shares you own, the more money you'll get. Owning dividend-paying stocks can be one of the most passive ways to make money because the income is unrelated to any activity other than the initial financial investment. The funds will be deposited into your brokerage account. The tricky part is picking the right stocks. Companies that pay out a large dividend, for example, may be unable to maintain it. Graves warns that too many newcomers enter the market without first thoroughly researching the company issuing the stock. You must investigate each company's website and be confident in their financial statements, Graves advises. You should investigate each company for 2 to 3 weeks. However, there are ways to invest in dividend-paying stocks without spending a lot of time researching companies. Graves recommends using exchange-traded funds, or ETFs. ETFs are investment funds that hold assets such as stocks, commodities, and bonds but trade similarly to stocks. ETFs also diversify your holdings, so if one company reduces its dividend, it has little effect on the ETF's price or dividend. Here are a few of the best ETFs to consider. ETFs are an excellent choice for beginners because they are simple to understand, highly liquid, low cost, and have far higher potential returns than mutual funds, Graves says. Another significant risk is that stocks or ETFs can fall dramatically in a short period of time, particularly during times of uncertainty, such as in 2020 when the coronavirus crisis shocked financial markets. Economic stress can also cause some companies to completely cut their dividends, whereas diversified funds may fare better. Create an app. Creating an app could be a way to make that initial time investment and then reap the long-term benefits. Your app could be a game or one that assists mobile users with a difficult task. Users will download your app once it is made public, and you will be able to earn money. Opportunity. If you can design something that piques your audience's interest, an app has a lot of potential. You'll need to think about how to make the most money from your app. For example, you could run in-app ads or charge users a small fee to download the app. If your app becomes popular or you receive feedback, you will most likely need to add new features to keep it relevant and popular. Risk. The biggest risk here is that you use your time inefficiently. You have little financial risk if you commit little or no money to the project, or money that you would have spent anyway, for example, on hardware. However, it is a crowded market, and truly successful apps must provide users with a compelling value or experience. You'll also want to ensure that if your app collects data, it complies with privacy laws, which vary by country. App popularity can also be fleeting, which means your cash flow may dry up much faster than you expect. Rent out a parking space. Do you have a parking space that you aren't using or that someone else could use? You could exchange that location for money. It could be an even better setup if you have a larger area that can accommodate multiple cars or is useful for multiple events or venues. Opportunity: if you live in a high-demand area or at a high-demand time, such as during a concert or sporting event, your parking spot could be worth money. For example, if you live near a location with frequent commuters but a scarcity of parking spaces, you may have a moneymaker on your hands. You may have a better chance of making a profit if you rent to someone who needs the space on a daily basis rather than for one-time events. Risk: while this idea isn't particularly risky, you should make sure you aren't infringing on any restrictions imposed by your place of residence or another entity by renting out a parking space. It's probably a good idea to include a liability disclaimer as a condition of parking. A real estate investment trust, or REIT, is a fancy name for a company that owns and manages real estate. REITs have a unique legal structure that allows them to pay little or no corporate income tax if they distribute the majority of their earnings to shareholders. Opportunity: REITs, like any other company or dividend stock, can be purchased on the stock market. You'll earn whatever dividends the REIT pays out, and the best REITs have a track record of increasing their dividends on an annual basis, so you could have a growing stream of dividends over time. Individual REITs, like dividend stocks, can be riskier than owning an ETF that includes dozens of REIT stocks. A fund provides immediate diversification and is typically much safer than purchasing individual stocks, and you'll still get a nice payout. Risk: just like dividend stocks, you'll need to be able to pick the good REITs, which means analyzing each business that you might buy, a time-consuming process. And, while it is a passive activity, if you don't know what you're doing, you can lose a lot of money. The price, like any stock, can fluctuate a lot in the short term. REIT dividends are also not immune to economic downturns. If the REIT does not generate enough income, it will most likely have to reduce or eliminate its dividend. As a result, your passive income may suffer just when you need it the most. A bond ladder is a collection of bonds that mature at different times over the course of several years. The staggered maturities reduce reinvestment risk, which is the risk of reinvesting your money when bonds pay too little interest. A bond ladder is a classic passive investment that has long appealed to retirees and near-retirees. You can sit back and collect your interest payments, and when the bond matures, you extend the ladder, transferring the principal to a new set of bonds. For example, you could begin with 1-year, 3-year, 5-year, and 7-year bonds. When the first bond matures in a year, you will have bonds maturing in 2, 4, and 6 years. The proceeds from the recently matured bond can be used to purchase another 1-year bond or to roll out to a longer duration bond, such as an 8-year bond. Risk: a bond ladder eliminates one of the major risks of purchasing bonds, the risk of having to purchase a new bond when interest rates are not favorable. Bonds also carry additional risks. While Treasury bonds are guaranteed by the federal government, corporate bonds are not, which means you could lose your principal if the company fails. And you'll want to own a variety of bonds to diversify your risk and eliminate the possibility of a single bond negatively impacting your overall portfolio. If overall interest rates rise, the value of your bonds may fall. As a result of these concerns, many investors turn to bond ETFs, which provide a diversified fund of bonds that can be set up in a ladder, eliminating the risk of a single bond undermining your returns. Sponsored posts on social media. Do you have a large following on social media platforms like Instagram or TikTok? Obtain payment from emerging consumer brands to post about their product or otherwise feature it in your feed. However, you must continue to fill your profile with content that attracts your target audience. That means continuing to create social media posts that expand your reach and engage your followers. Opportunity: making the most of your social media presence is an appealing business model. Draw attention and clicks to your profile with compelling content, and then monetize it by arranging sponsored posts from brands that appeal to your followers. Risk: Getting started can be a catch-22 situation. You need a large audience to get meaningful sponsored posts, but you're not an appealing option until you have one. So you'll have to spend a lot of time first building your audience, with no guarantee of success. You could end up spending a lot of time following trends and creating content in the hopes of eventually getting the sponsorship you want. Even if you find the sponsored posts you're looking for, you'll need to keep posting to keep your audience engaged and to remain an appealing option for advertisers. That means committing to more time and money, even if you have a lot of control over when you do it. Invest in a high-yield CD or savings account. Investing in a high-yield certificate of deposit, CD, or savings account at an online bank can provide you with a passive income while also providing you with one of the best interest rates in the country. You will not even need to leave your house to earn money. Opportunity. To get the most out of your CD, conduct a quick search of the nation's top CD rates or top savings accounts. It's usually much better to go with an online bank rather than your local bank because you'll be able to choose the best rate available in the country. You'll also get a guaranteed return of principal up to $250,000 if your financial institution is FDIC insured. Risk. Your principal is safe as long as your bank is FDIC insured and within limits. So investing in a CD or savings account is about as safe as it gets. While these accounts are safe, they are returning less than they used to. And that return may pale in comparison to inflation, which reached the mid-single digits last year, reducing your money's real purchasing power. Nonetheless, a CD or savings account will earn more than cash or a non-interest-bearing checking account where you will receive nothing. Rent out your home short-term. This straightforward strategy converts unutilized space into a revenue-generating opportunity. Consider renting out your current space while you're gone if you're going away for the summer, need to be out of town for a while, or simply want to travel. Opportunity. You can list your space on a variety of websites, such as Airbnb, and set your own rental terms. You'll get paid for your efforts with little extra effort, especially if you're renting to a tenant who will be there for a few months. Risk. There isn't much financial risk here, though allowing strangers to stay in your home is an unusual risk for most passive investments. Tenants may deface or even destroy your property, as well as steal valuables. Advertise on your car. You might be able to make some extra money by simply driving around town in your car. Contact a specialized advertising agency to assess your driving habits, including where you drive and how many miles you drive. If you're a good fit for one of their advertisers, the agency will wrap your car in advertisements at no cost to you. Agencies prefer newer vehicles, and drivers must have a clean driving record. While you will have to get out and drive, if you are already putting in the mileage, this is a great way to earn hundreds of dollars per month with little or no extra cost. Drivers can be compensated per mile. Risk. If this idea appeals to you, proceed with caution in locating a legitimate operation with which to collaborate. Many fraudsters set up scams in this space to defraud you out of thousands of dollars. Create a blog or YouTube channel. Are you an expert on Thailand travel? A Minecraft guru? A swing dancing sultan? Turn your passion for a subject into a blog or a YouTube channel and monetize it with ads or sponsors. Find a popular topic, even if it is a small niche, and become an expert in it. You'll need to create a suite of content and attract an audience at first, but as you become known for your engaging content, it can provide a steady income stream over time. Opportunity. You can use a free, or very low-cost, platform to build a following, then use your excellent content to grow it. The more distinctive your voice or area of interest, the easier it will be for you to become the person to follow. Then you can attract sponsors to you. Risk. You'll need to create initial content and then ongoing content, which can take time. And you'll need to be extremely passionate about the product, as this will help you maintain motivation to keep going, especially early on when your followers are still finding you. The real disadvantage here is that if there is little interest in your subject or niche, you can waste a lot of time and resources. Your area of expertise may be too narrow to attract a profitable audience, but you won't know for sure unless you experiment. Sell designs online. If you have design skills, you could turn them into a source of income by selling items with your printed designs on them. You can sell your own designs on t-shirts, hats, mugs, and other items through companies like Cafe Press and Zazzle. Opportunity: start with your own designs to see what the market wants, then expand from there. You might be able to capitalize on rising interest in a current event by designing a shirt that captures the spirit of the moment, or at the very least a snarky take on it. You can also market your products by creating your own web storefront using a service like Shopify. Risk: printing partners enable you to ship items without directly investing in the merchandise, avoiding one of the most significant risks associated with tying up your capital. However, if you invest in some of the inventory yourself, you may be able to get better pricing. Another significant risk is that you will invest a significant amount of time with little return, but this route may be appealing if you are already doing design work for another reason, such as personal interest. Rent out useful household items. Here's an alternative to renting out an idle car. Begin even smaller with other household items that people may require but are gathering dust in your garage. Lawnmowers? What about power tools? What about mechanics tools and a toolbox? Large coolers or tents? Look for high-value items that people need for a short period of time and where owning the item may not make sense. Then devise a method for clients to discover your inventory and a method for them to pay for it. Opportunity: you can start small and scale up if there is interest in a specific area. Do people suddenly want a tent for weekend camping when the weather changes? Determine where the demand is, and then purchase the item rather than having it on hand. In some cases, you may be able to recoup the item's value after a few uses. Risk: your property may be damaged or stolen, but you can mitigate this risk with contracts that allow you to replace the item at the client's expense. If you start small, you won't be exposed to much risk, especially if you already have the item and won't need it anytime soon. Pay close attention to liability issues, especially if you're renting out potentially dangerous equipment, example, power tools. Which passive income source is best? The best passive income source depends on a number of factors, the most important of which are the amount of money you have to invest, the total size of the opportunity, your interest and ability in the area, the amount of time you need to invest, and the potential to succeed. The lower the entry barriers, the more crowded the field of competitors, and the lower the likelihood of success. As a result, you must weigh the opportunity against these factors to determine which passive income strategy is best for you. However, having natural ability and an interest in your target area can help motivate you in the early days when things are likely to be tougher. There are passive income opportunities for people who have some money to start, as well as those who do not. How many income streams should you have? When it comes to generating income streams, there is no one-size-fits-all advice. How many sources of income you have should be determined by your current financial situation and future financial goals. However, having a few is a good start. With multiple lines in the water, you'll catch more fish, says Greg McBride, CFA, Chief Financial Analyst at Bankrate. Rental properties, income-producing securities, and business ventures are excellent ways to diversify your income stream in addition to the earned income generated by your human capital. Of course, you'll want to make sure that putting effort into a new passive income stream isn't distracting you from your other streams. So you must balance your efforts and ensure that you are selecting the best opportunities for your time. We hope you can gain something from this video and start earning passive income. We would greatly appreciate it if you give us feedback and let us know any topics you may want us to cover.